Okay guys, so this morning I wanted to show you why I love using my cake scrapers and especially these little guys, my acrylic cake discs. They go on top of my cake and they help me get an even line all around my cake and that sharp edge I want. So this is just a cake I crumb coated quickly this morning. I need to put a little screen print on it and now it needs to get a final coat. So this is a 15 centimeter cake and this is about a 17 centimeter cake disc, and I'm just going to pop this right onto, this is been in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes and I can touch it with my finger without the frosting sticking to it, and I can pop this right up onto my cake, and I'm just going to check that all of my sides are an even 5 millimeters or a centimeter all around the rim there. So I'm just going to snip off my piping bag, and then I'm going to start at the bottom. I like to start at the bottom with my piping bag like I usually do and just pipe a thick layer of frosting all around my cake. And then I go right up to the top. Just turn my turntable. If you don't have a turntable, it's one of the first things you want to invest in when decorating a cake. Trust me, it makes life so much easier. Then when I come up to my cake disc, you don't have to place your hand there, you can if you want to, but the cake disc is quite settled there. And I'm piping right into the cake disc and in between the cake disc and my cake there. You'll even see the frosting going over the cake disc, which is perfectly fine. We're just going to remove that. And as you can see, my cake is a little wobbly on the one side. Yep, it definitely needs a little bit of frosting on this side to help it just a little. It doesn't matter, sometimes cakes go wobbly. And we're going to fill that up, no problem. Now I'm not going to start with my cake discs and my cake scrapers immediately. I'm not going to start with this cake scraper immediately. I'm going to start with my cake spatula, and then I'm going to work my way all around the cake and the cake disc and just smoothing that frosting out, filling in the spaces that leaves holes and places open. I'm just gonna turn my turntable and continue to keep, you're keeping your spatula the same way you're using your cake scraper, your spatula and your cake disc and board at a right angle, going right around your cake. Just like that. Okay, let me take off some of this frosting. I think I'm more or less fine with that. I'm going to place my spatula into some water, hot boiling water. I've got both of them here. When I'm using buttercream or vanilla frosting, not ganache, I use hot water, and that helps me get a smooth finish. Now with the cake disc, I have two sizes. I've got a big or a small one. You can use either one with this cake. I'm going to go with the small one. I'm keeping my elbow right up to my body, and I'm placing my cake scraper right up to my cake disc and my cake board at a 45-degree angle and slowly going around my cake to smooth out and get that perfect finish I want. And now you can go back. There's a little bit of a blob there. I'm just going to take my little spatula, clean it off, because I don't want that water there. Take some of it, fill up my cake there. I'll take the excess off my scraper, clean it off, and go back to my cake at a 45-degree angle and just smooth it out again. Just go slow, take your time, and sooner or later, much sooner, you will have a perfectly smooth cake all around. Now remember, you don't want to, just want to smooth it out. You don't want to take any frosting off. So I'm just going to go and clean off my spatula one more time, or my scraper with my spatula one more time, and go in one more time. Now you have an option to take this back to the freezer or fridge if you want to. I'm not going to, because right now I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. If you want to go and clean it off and make sure everything is just perfect, you can use the warm spatula from the hot water and just run it softly around your cake to smooth it out. Just look at that. Perfectly smoothed out cake. Now we're coming back to the top of our cake. I'm going to use my little spatula, which has been warmed up now. Put it right in between. When I have not put this in the fridge, so my icing is still soft. If you've put this in the fridge to set a bit, you want to wait or use a paring knife, but I'm just going to use my spatula and put it in between my cake, not to disturb the icing. Just find that place, put it in there, and slowly turn my turntable and get my little cake disc off here. I'm going to get some black frosting to put it onto my top of my cake and smooth that out. I just want to put some frosting over here, and then I'm just going to take my little spatula, smooth my frosting out, and get an even top finish. Now to get that perfectly sharp edge in no time, I'm going to take my big spatula one more time, run it around my cake to get that rim on top. And once I have the rim, I am taking my going eye level and just dragging that top into the middle. Perfect. Let me just clean that up one more time. And I am happy with how that looks. Let me bring you a little bit closer. So that's a perfectly sharp edge, perfectly smoothed out cake, which I can now add my screen print to. Cool.